Hey everyone, hope you're all doing great. For ages, we've been hearing about this terrifying myth called the Bermuda Triangle. Stories, movies, books, they've all painted this area as some kind of black hole, swallowing ships and planes without a trace. But here's the crazy part. The authorities in charge of global maritime safety swear that the accident rate in the Bermuda Triangle is completely normal for any busy shipping lane like it.
Surprise me.
Turns out, we've been looking at the wrong place all along. There are shipping lanes with way higher accident rates than anywhere else in the world. Lanes that are actually way scarier than the Bermuda Triangle. Welcome guys, I'm Ahmed. But before we dive in, if you're new to the channel, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you never miss an upload. Grab your popcorn and let's get right into the story. If there's one place on Earth we can actually call terrifying, it's gotta be the Drake Passage. The Drake Passage is basically a battlefield between oceans and a meeting point for Mother Nature's wildest forces. It's about 800 kilometers wide, separating Cape Horn at the southernmost tip of South America from the South Shetland Islands of Antarctica. It's the only place on Earth where ocean currents can loop around the entire globe without hitting any land to block them or slow them down. This current is known as the Antarctic Circumpolar Current, and it's hands down the massivest ocean current in the world. Get this current moves anywhere from 100 to 150 million cubic meters of water per second.
Holy motherforking shirt balls.
To put that crazy number into perspective, that's like 150 times the flow of every single river in the world combined. So just imagine that insane amount of force getting squeezed into a bottleneck like the Drake Passage. But wait, it's not just about the water. The winds out there are brutal. They build up speed over thousands of kilometers across open ocean with absolutely no mountains or land to stop them. So when they smash into the Drake Passage and collide with that ocean current, they create a literal sea monster. We're talking average wave heights of 9 to 12 meters, and sometimes they peak at over 20 meters. That's like a wave as tall as a 7-story building.
Oh my God!
On top of all that, the seafloor itself plays a part in this horror show. There's an underwater mountain range down there known as the Shackleton Fracture Zone. This range forces deep ocean water to rush upwards, creating crazy turbulence that makes the water boil. Sailors call this phenomenon the Drake Shake. So long story short, we're talking about a combo of terrifying natural forces that make it one of the most dangerous shipping lanes in the world. And honestly, its historical record totally backs that up. Over 800 ships sank there, and more than 20,000 sailors lost their lives on the northern edge of the Drake Passage.
What?
At the furthest point of the Tierra del Fuego archipelago in Chile, we find a legendary rock known as Cape Horn. Anyone who passes through this place safely kisses their hand back and front, as if they climbed Mount Everest and came back down. It's enough to know that sailors nicknamed this place the Graveyard of the Sailors. Before the opening of the Panama Canal in 1914, any ship that wanted to move from the Atlantic Ocean to the Pacific Ocean, or vice versa, was forced to pass through there. The main danger in the Cape Horn area is a geological phenomenon that happens underwater. Southwest of Cape Horn, the ocean floor rises suddenly and terrifyingly from its normal level. It usually runs at a depth of 4,000 meters under the water's surface, and suddenly, this depth turns into just 100 meters. So what happens is that the giant waves coming from below, traveling at maximum speed, suddenly find a close wall in front of them and crash into it head on. The result is that the water speed decreases, but its energy turns upward, causing waves that are easily capable of flipping a ship or even splitting it in half. And that is not the only problem there. The Andes Mountains in the region act exactly like a funnel. The polar winds coming toward them are directed downward toward the sea. Sailors find themselves facing sudden storms coming down from the mountain at speeds exceeding 100 kilometers per hour, and it is very easy to hit any ship all at once without warning. Because the passages around Cape Horn are all narrow and full of rocks, sometimes the storms hit the ships and throw them onto the rocks before the crew can even process what happened. On top of all that, the temperatures there are freezing, and the fog blocks all vision. All of these are factors that make navigation there look like a suicide mission. Historical numbers are the strongest proof of this. Estimates say that more than 800 ships sank in the area, and nearly 10,000 sailors lost their lives. On the western coast of France and the northern coast of Spain lies the Bay of Biscay, a place that many maritime experts consider the stormiest sea in the entire world. Although the water depth in the North Atlantic Ocean reaches 4,500 meters and 4,800 meters below sea level, the Atlantic waves arriving at the bay after traveling thousands of kilometers find that the depth has changed from 4,500 meters to just 150 or 200 meters. This means they also hit a solid wall head-on. What happens is that instead of the wave's energy dispersing into the depths, it finds itself squeezed into shallow water, bouncing backward and colliding with the new waves just entering the bay. This clash creates choppy, irregular waves, and the result is a chaotic and terrifying sea for ships and sailors. Sailors who pass through there describe the situation as the ship being hit by waves from every direction at the exact same time. And here, we're talking about waves ranging in height from 18 to 20 meters, which is the height of a 7-story building. The situation stays like this until the waves twist the ship's hull or even split it in half. During World War II, the bay was a major theater for German submarine operations. During the World War II period alone, hundreds of British and American ships sank there in the valley, to the point that ship and submarine crews nicknamed the bay the Valley of Death. And that's it. We're done. Who made it this far? Everyone who reached this point, you are the absolute best. Make sure to leave a like before you go, so we can know how many of you made it to the end. Also, we didn't talk about the Bermuda Triangle, so if you want a full episode about it, let us know in the comments. And don't forget, if you have a recommendation for a future episode, write it down for us in the comments as well. Peace.